this is a super extra look. So, Tomb Raider Underworld. This is the most beautiful Tomb Raider. It's one of the most beautiful Lara Crofts, which is why we've gone really extra today. I got false lashes on, look. They didn't look this big in the shop. When I put them on, I was like, I look like a Muppet. What's going on? So, this is, like I say, the most beautiful Tomb Raider ever. I would say ever. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Lara Croft looks, she's my favourite Lara Croft in-game model to date. I just think she's so beautiful. I just stand there looking at her face a lot of the time. I just stand against a rock and turn the camera to look at her face all the time. She's just so friggin' beautiful, and the fact that she has expression for the first time, like, I'm not talking just the mouth animation or anything, she actually has expression. She squints in the sunlight, she frowns, she looks happy and surprised. She actually has expression in this. She is absolutely gorgeous. You will never ever get a Lara Croft this good looking. I don't think you'll ever get a Lara Croft this good looking ever again. This was the pinnacle of Lara Croft game model. This was just lovely. Anyway, so I used to absolutely adore this, but there's lots of flaws now that make it a frustrating play to me. Even though it's a very special Tomb Raider, I don't know, it really stands out. It's one of those standalone Tomb Raiders. I don't know what it is about it, but it really stands out from the rest. And it always has a special place in my heart. Even though most of the time I get frustrated when I play it, I still enjoy to play it. I still enjoy the environments. I enjoy how the world feels alive. I enjoy Lara. I just think it's a really lovely Tomb Raider, and I think it's very, very nice. But it does have its problems. I mean, every game has its problems. No game is perfect. I got to a certain point playing it myself, and then I sort of couldn't be bothered. Because some of the levels, I don't enjoy them, and it was getting to the point where I didn't enjoy the levels, so I just sort of just watched someone. So we're going to go straight into a negative today. It's a positive and it's a negative. This is the first time that Lara Croft was motion captured, and God, you can tell. You can just see that it's motion captured. When she flips around in combat, you can just tell she's motion captured. You can just see that it's motion captured. And it does look very beautiful, but it also kind of doesn't feel right somehow. It really doesn't feel right in places. One time it doesn't feel right is when she swims. I absolutely dislike her swimming animation very, very much in this game. It really bothers me. It's the first time I haven't liked a swimming animation in Tomb Raider, but I really dislike it. It's not the frog style now, it's just she just kicks her legs behind her, just like this. Like I said in previous games, a swimming animation can make or break a swimming section for me. If it's not animated correctly, I don't like the way it's animated, it can ruin it. And I feel that with this. I don't like the way she looks in water. I know it's a nitpicky thing, but considering she's motion captured, it's a bad thing. It doesn't look good. I don't think it looks good. It's just my opinion. I kind of miss her frog style swimming. The perfect animation to me to date was Angel of Darkness. Her swimming animation there was just so beautiful. I just love it so much. But this, no, I don't care. I don't like it at all. Another time that it looks really weird is when she walks. I can't be the only one that notices how peculiar Lara looks when she walks in this game. It's very robotic almost, and that's really weird considering they motion captured her for the first time. It looks robotic to me. It looks stiff, and she doesn't have a feminine kind of aura about her when she walks. She looks quite masculine in my opinion, so I really don't like the way she walks. It's difficult getting her to walk anyway. I find it hard, but yeah, I find her walking animation very strange. I don't like it. This is the first time I've not liked Lara Croft's walking and swimming animation. It just looks really odd to me. So I've written down here as a description, her animations are both beautiful and ugly. There's some real beautiful animations in this. I love the way she runs, for example. The way she runs, it's kind of feminine, which is the opposite to what her walking is. She kind of has her elbows kind of high. It just looks very, very pleasant. Her running animation, walking animation, no, but her running animation it's really nice actually. Another time you could tell she's motion captured, she actually climbs walls this time, like brick by brick. You climb a brick wall and she'll individually grab the different points. This is really cool, but my god, it looks really strange. She does this really spread-legged kind of thing where she's trying to reach a rock with her legs, and it's really like almost the splits. It just looks peculiar. It looks really strange, but it looks very nice, like when she's just doing dainty little moves. But I like the way she actually grabs different handholds in this, different rock surfaces. It's really cool. It does look very effective, and it just adds a different kind of vibe to her climbing. I think it looks really great sometimes. Sometimes it looks odd and strange, but most of the time I enjoy it, and I like the effort of her grabbing different, because it's almost like a puzzle in itself, figuring out the route to go. So I kind of like it and I kind of don't like it at the same time. So the Mediterranean, I forget what it's called. I wrote it down. I wrote the names down actually. Yeah, the Mediterranean Sea. I was going to say it and it sounded wrong, so I didn't. The Mediterranean Sea. So this is a gorgeous level, very, very deep water. Epic. I would describe it as epic because that's all they described it as when they were talking about it, when it was being made and created. It's epic. So epic. Epic. How would you describe your Tomb Raider? Definitely epic. So it's epic as fuck, and it is. Yeah, holy shit, this is some deep fucking water that you swim in, and it's like a big sea. It's very vast and very, very deep. So it is really fucking epic. They're not lying. It is. This level in particular is very, very epic. How epic would you like it to be? Epic. So you have to, I find treasure hunting in this game very difficult. Like, I've played it so often and I still don't know where everything is. The Mediterranean Sea, it's like there's so many little nooks and crannies and it's such a deep piece of water. It's like, how will I find this without a guide? It's so difficult. So yeah, very deep water, and you have to open up this like door, and it's really cool. It's a nice little puzzle. You have to rotate these things round. You have to get the set balls in the middle of this door. It rotates, so you have to find these like piston things, I don't know, these wheel things to operate it. You open it up and you swim in. The jump scare here is very effective. There's a little jump scare here. It's just done very, very well. You're just swimming along and all of a sudden this octopus tentacle would just animated go through the door. You're like, holy shit. So there's a kraken in this. Oh my god, I feel so incredibly sorry for this kraken.
I hope it's as blind as it looks.
Kinda. I noticed if you jump in the water with it, you can swim around with it and you don't give a fuck. It's like, I don't care. But if you jump on its platforms, it's like, get the fuck off of my platforms. So there's a kraken guarding this door, basically. That's his job. He's probably been there for billions of years. I don't know how old he is, but he's been there a while. That's why he's blind. He's very old. He's an old kraken. Krakens were most definitely harmed during the making of this Tomb Raider. During the playthrough of this Tomb Raider, krakens were most definitely harmed. What you have to do to the kraken is not even okay. I know he tries to swat you away when you're on his ledges. When you swim next to him, he don't care. He's like, yes, share my water. You are welcome. You can swim around my face. I don't care. Share my water, but don't jump on my ledges. I love my ledges. The ledges are my thing. Come in the water. Don't jump on the ledges or I'll fucking swat you off with my tentacles. So this pretty much harmless kraken just doing his job. What a miserable fucking life. Like, seriously. And then you have to raise this big spiky platform above his head. You already know what you're going to have to do when you see it. Oh, well, Oh God, does it suffer? It thrashes about, writhing in pain. Just these spikes sticking out of its head, blood is going everywhere, and then it just dies. And then as a little bonus, you can stand on its face when it's in the water. It's the saddest thing. I've put here being mean to the Kraken with a sad face. How dramatic and ghastly and just awful and cruelly would you like to destroy this Kraken? Yes! Yes, don't ask questions, just yes.
I don't suppose you'd be open to bribery, would you?
Try a box of party rings, Laura. Everybody loves party rings. If party rings come out at a party where they should be, it's all in the name, party rings. Nowhere else they should be consumed, only at parties. Yep, get the party rings out. Everybody has a great time. Recommend if you ever need to bribe someone, get them some party rings. Isn't coastal Thailand so beautiful? Holy shit. This is a gorgeous level. So you can choose your guns in this. You can choose a costume at the start, and you can choose a gun to have with your pistols, and as far as I know it's got infinite ammunition. There's no ammo for it, it's all the time, you can just fire it all the time. They put a tranquilizer gun in because people were upset about shooting the wildlife, so they put a tranquilizer gun in so you could put the animals to sleep instead. But honestly, they go to sleep for such a short time. I used it once because I did feel kind of bad about killing the tigers, because the tigers are really special in this game. So I did choose the tranquilizer gun once, and I literally just did it once because I was like, this is absolutely pointless. Yes, it puts them to sleep, but maybe for 20 seconds or something, and then they're back up terrorising you and trying to eat your legs. Maybe you have to shoot them 200 times before it takes effect. By the way, the spiders in this, they're like fucking a ferocious ninja Power Ranger attack spiders. Why are they so aggressive? I like the fact you can stamp on them with your boots, but they fly at your head and fly around the fucking ceilings and fly around all over the fucking place. Flying spiders. No thanks. When evolution starts to make spiders fly, that is when humanity should just die. Just accept and just die, because that's awful. But they just fly around all over the place. Fucking vicious, ferocious, squeaking spiders. Why do they squeak? Eee! Oh, abseil down the hole. In Thailand, there's a part where you abseil down a hole into some kind of ruins. I love this bit so much. This is a really exciting bit. It's just so simple. You just latch onto the wall and abseil down. You go down the hole, you're hanging on the rope, and you abseil down. You abseil down the wall, like you're walking backwards down it, and then you abseil into the open room. I just think this is such a lovely bit of gameplay. I don't know, it's just such a simple thing. So small, such a small percentage of the game. Very, very tiny, over and done within no time, but it feels really Tomb Raider-ish. It really does. It feels like you're really, really exploring places that most people can't get to. I think after this is Croft Manor. Now this sounds exciting, but it's not. So the mansion part is just a bit lame. We just want a proper mansion that we can run around and just have fun. We don't really want it as like a level that's just not very good. So I don't really like this level. I haven't even written it down. I've gone straight onto Mexico. This is a lovely level. Obviously lots of rain. I like this area actually. Here you get a bike. You don't really get to test the bike speed particularly. It's the best bike. It's such a great bike. I love the bike in this, which is why I'm sad that you don't get to drive it for very long. It's more like a get on it, drive a little bit, go over some dangerous gaps, get off, solve some puzzles, climb some ledges, get back on it, drive to a new area. So this part of the bike sucks a little bit, but it is the best bike and it's really nice. Later on you get to drive it around a snowy area, but again it's little tunnels and stuff. You don't really get to go very fast on it. You don't really get to test it as a bike. It's just, you know, it goes fast. It feels very powerful, but it's not in the right situation. But it is a very cool bike. It handles very well actually. There's a part where you have to race to a door. Now I hate things like this usually, but this is actually really exciting. As long as you go there's a way that's simpler, I think, simpler to navigate on your bike. As long as you make sure you open this part of the puzzle last. You can have a nice easy ride to the door, but you have to get there on a time limit, so you have to get used to handling the bike, you have to get used to skidding it around corners to turn it, but it does handle very well, and I find that I get there reasonably unstressed. Actually, I quite like this bit, it's quite exciting. There is an issue when you go down the stairs into the open temple thing where the bike will bounce and she doesn't make the jump. She'll bounce for some reason. It's like it clips the floor and it makes it bounce, and you go down the pit there. Even though it's supposed to go over this jump, so going fast is the like answer there, but if you go too fast, the bike bounces and you die. So I've written here, the game still falls short of being perfect and enjoyable, and yeah, I do. I like the game. It's very special. It really stands out, even though it's a very special feeling Tomb Raider. Lara looks lovely, the environments are lovely, and it just feels very special. That's the only way I can describe it, but it still doesn't feel perfect, and it still isn't a completely enjoyable Tomb Raider to me. It's still not an enjoyable Tomb Raider. I like it, but certain levels I ain't got time for. It's not a Tomb Raider I say, yes, I really like to play that. I get a little bit upset by it. I get a little bit disappointed by it in places. So yeah, it's not a completely enjoyable Tomb Raider, even though it's beautiful and it's a very nice Tomb Raider. It's just not very well made in places. You know, in places it's just not very well made. I think, anyway, this is what I feel from it. I could be completely wrong. I find the enemies annoying. Yeah, I do actually. The men seem to take a while to die. They all seem to shoot you very much. The giant spiders are just more boring than anything. I find them I just want them to get out of the way so I can get on with the game. I think I mostly mean the thralls, whatever they're called. I really don't like the thralls. They're either called thralls or thralls. These are the enemies that I don't like very much. I find them so boring and aggravating, and they're just all over the place in this part of Mexico. There's a part where you find like this big statue, and it's covered in like this blue fire stuff. I don't know what it is. It's like a blue liquid. It's deadly to touch, but the thralls are made of this stuff, and it makes them indestructible unless you stamp on them. But they're just all the time coming out of this blue stuff and attacking you, and they do take a while to die, and they are quite boring. I don't find this enemy type particularly interesting. I just think it would have been better without them, personally. I think they're just a boring enemy. I just think they take too long to die. They're just too continuous. There's too many of them. I just don't like them. I think they're a really bad enemy. I just find them boring, tiresome. I've put feels too unfamiliar. Don't really know what I mean by that. I guess I feel quite comfortable with Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was one of those games, it can come out with a brand new Tomb Raider. I know that I'll be able to pick it up like that. I know that I'll get on with it. I know that I'll enjoy my experiences with it most of the time. So I think that's what I mean. It doesn't feel familiar anymore. It feels a bit like an alien Tomb Raider. Like I don't feel confident. I don't feel comfortable with it. I don't feel like I can play it comfortably. I just feel like I'm going to be stressing about the controls or the enemies, or I just don't feel like I'm very comfortable with it, and I don't think I ever will be comfortable with it. I guess that's what I mean by it doesn't feel familiar. It feels too unfamiliar. I guess that's what I mean. God, I really wish I'd write things a bit clearer. I have no idea what I've written there. Story of my life when I write things down. What did I write there? After Mexico is Janmuyan Island? Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. There's a big hammer room. It's like got loads of big hammers in it, and you have to hold on to them as they swing along. I really like this room. It's really cool. It feels very epic. It feels epic and just grand and just dangerous and really cool to navigate across using these gigantic swinging hammers. I just think this room is really interesting and really, really cool. Yeah, the Arctic Sea, this is the completely swimming one. It's cool, but yeah, it's okay. That's what I mean. When it gets to a point in this game and I don't really care for the levels anymore. to me that shows it's not a great Tomb Raider, because I find it boring and I find it not interesting after a while, and I don't actually want to continue it. Like, I was playing it myself to take notes, and then I got to the second part of Mexico and I was like, no, I actually hate this part. The part with the blue water and you have to drain it and then rise it and then get up there without dipping your toe in it. I just hate this part of the level, so I was like, no, I'm just going to watch someone play it now and take notes. So there are parts that I just don't like in this game, and it's a real shame. That's why it's never the perfect Tomb Raider, even though I love like the environments, I love the way it feels in places, and I love how Lara looks. The best Lara, she looks so attractive in this, so beautiful, and facial expressions for the first time is just wonderful. But the game, I just feel, falls short for me. It just does. I just don't get no joy after a certain point. So the end boss, I just feel like a complete genius when I complete it. When I actually manage to do the end boss again, I just feel like a genius. It's so complicated and hard. I just cannot believe how difficult the ending is. Even now, I'm like, I still don't know 100% confidently where to go or what to do next. You have to get these things across so you can make your way to the centre piece while Natla is shooting at you and stuff. But it's so complicated, knowing where to go, getting the right positions, getting the blocks spinning around so you can make progress. I just feel like an utter genius when I do it. I just think the end boss is very, very good. It's not like a boss fight. It's almost like a puzzle, trying to figure out how to get into the middle. I just think it's really great. So that's all I've written down. I really wish I liked it more. I don't hate it by any means, but I just wish it was a more satisfactory Tomb Raider for me, because it really isn't. But it's a gorgeous game, and I love playing Thailand, and I love... There's not many levels I like in it though, to be fair. It's really sad. I just don't know why it just doesn't feel perfect to me. Even though it's gorgeous and it's wonderful, and I love the climbing and the exploring, and when I first got it I played Thailand to death because I loved that level. I still love it. I still think it's great. But I don't think there's anything else to add. I just like the cutscenes. I like part of Lara's personality.
Bloody hell. Jacqueline Nutman, you just don't know when to die. That's where you hid the artifact. You sly old fox.
But yeah, I like it. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I'm kind of neutral about it. I like what they did with it, but I also think they could have done more. It does feel short, fall short for me in many places. But that's all I've wrote down, I think. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks, guys. Have nothing else to say. Bye now.